The story of the grave of the Fireflies. A young boy and his little sister struggled to survive in Japan during World War II. The date is September 25th of year 1945. Shortly after the end of World War II, a young boy sits against a pillar at Sanomiya Station, dying of starvation. Later that night, a janitor removes his body and digs through his possessions, finding nothing but a candy tin containing ashes and few fragments of bone which he threw away into a nearby field. From the tin springs the spirit of the young boy, followed by his little sister, along with a cloud of fireflies. The spirit of the young boy, Seita, narrates the story of how he and his little sister, Setsuko, fared in the wake of the firebombings of Kobe during the war. 14-year-old Seita and 4-year-old Setsuko live with their mother comfortably in Kobe while his father serves as a captain in the Imperial Japanese Navy. One day, air raid sirens go off as a fleet of American B-29 Super Fortress bombers flies overhead. The children's mother, who suffers from a heart condition, puts Setsuko in the care of her older brother and instructs him to secure the home while she goes ahead to a bomb shelter. Hundreds of incendiary bombs are dropped on the city, and most of civilians are caught off guard. Seita and Setsuko manage to survive the bombing unscathed and go in search of their mother. They find her at a makeshift clinic set up within a school, horribly burned and covered head to foot with bloody bandages. She dies a short time later and is cremated in a mass grave with other casualties. Despite their loss, Seita is determined to take her for Setsuko and protect her all cost. They travel to the home of their aunt, who allows them to stay but convinces Seita to sell his mother's kimonos for rice. While living there, Seita goes out to retrieve leftover supplies he had buried in the ground before the bombing and gives them all to his aunt. However, he keeps one tin of fruit drops for himself. The children's aunt becomes increasingly bitter due to the hardships brought on by the war. She becomes resentful of the children as food rations shrink, and she accuses Seita on having done nothing to earn of food she cooks. Tired of his aunt's insult, Seita decides to live with Setsuko and take care of her on his own. They find refuge inside an abandoned bomb shelter and release fireflies within for light. Come morning, Setsuko is horrified to find that all fireflies have died. She creates a grave for them in the dirt, and Seita realizes the depth of her understanding when she asks him why their mother had to die too. The children soon to run out of rice and food and unable to find work and other means. Seita is forced to steal from local farmers homes during air raids. When he is caught, he comes to terms with his desperation and takes an increasingly ill Satsuko to a doctor. The doctor informs Data that his sister is suffering from malnutrition but offers no help. Desperate Seita withdraws all of the money remaining in his mother's bank account, hoping that it will be enough to treat Setsuko or buy food. As he leaves the bank account, he becomes distraught. When he learns from a nearby crowd that Japan has surrounded to the Allied forces. Not only that, but he finds that the ship of his father captained has been sunk along with most of the Imperial Navy. His father, who had once promised him that Japan could never be defeated. Sita returns to the bomb shelter with a heavy heart and large quantities of food, only to find Setsuko lying on the ground, hallucinating and trying to encourage Seta to eat little rocks that she thinks are rice balls. Seta hurries to prepare some food and gets Setsuko to try a bit of watermelon. She thanks him and, exhausted, closes her eyes. She never wakes up. Using supplies donated to him by a local farmer, Seta prepares a pyre and cremates his sister's body. He places her ashes in the food drop tin, which he keeps with him beside a picture of their father. A few weeks later, he finds himself in Sanomiya Station and dies of starvation. Illuminated by fireflies, the spirit of Seta and Setsuko are seen together, healthy and happy as they look down on the mother city of Kobe.
Hello children! Did you enjoy watching and listening the story of the Grave of Fireflies? It is very sad and tragic story, right? But I think this story gives us realization about life. This story teaches us to cherish every moment in our life. We need to choose peace over luxurious life. As we can notice in the story that it shows how Japanese people portrayed by two main characters, which are Seita and Setsuko, that they experience and survive the tragic situation in World War II. The scenario in the story are very relevant to the historic events. Also, we are noticed that at the young age, they were able to live without their mother and face the death with full of hope and determination. In the other way, this story inspired us to value, be attached, and build a good relationship with our siblings. Children, did you have a strong and harmonious relationship with your brothers and sisters? If your answer is yes, it is great to hear. The story of Grave and Fireflies gives us a heartfelt emotion. And I think it will motivate us to continue our journey even though there are a lot of circumstances. We should be thankful to our Lord because He gives us chances every single day to walk up in a new beginning and step in our pathways with full of strength and perseverance. We should accept that all of us will be die, and each day we should embrace the memories that we created.